Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is what are the signs that you are experiencing a past life. Yes, first of all, you can be experiencing a past life and not know it. I'll explain everything in this video, so make sure to watch till the end. Before I begin with all the signs, I want to tell you that all of us are psychic, all of us have psychic abilities, and we are always, tapping into those psychic abilities in one way or the other, and we might not even know it. Those people who are more meditative in nature, who are calm, composed, are able to experience their past lives or any other psychic phenomena easier than those people who are always stressed or who are always in the state of their higher brain waves. For the sake of simplicity, let's call any kind of past life remembrance as a past life recall. There are basically two types of past life recalls. I haven't read that in any other book. I think I came up with it and I've mentioned that and explained that in detail in my book. And if you want to get that, you can go to the link in the description. So the two types of past life recalls are hard recall and soft recall. A hard past life recall is when you are able to remember your past life as it is. So you can either remember it like a movie scene, you might remember it on the first person basis, or you just remember the whole story of your past life, a very emotionally charged story that just came up in your mind, and you might think that you are a writer and you want to write that story for a movie or something. So if you know your past life story completely with all the emotions and everything, then that is a hard recall. And a soft recall is when you don't know the past life story at all. You just have emotions coming up and you don't know where those emotions are coming from. You might have certain behaviors, certain tendencies, certain fears that come up, but you don't know the story behind that, right? So that is a soft recall. And I call that a soft recall because you're not able to pinpoint that feeling, that experience to a past life, and it can be difficult because you might be thinking, I don't know where this is coming from, this is not me, or you notice certain behavior about yourself which is not how you want to behave, but it is still coming up and you have tried everything else to deal with it and it is still not going away. Then that can very much be a soft past life recall. In my previous videos, I have already explained how I have had so many hard and soft past life recalls. So if you want to watch all of my past life stories, you can click on the end card of this video, which will take you to the playlist where I'm only talking about everything related to past lives. So regardless of the fact that it is a hard past life recall or a soft past life recall, all of that happens through either your physical senses or your psychic senses. Your physical senses are also your psychic senses. Now let's first start with the 5 main physical senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and sound or hearing. So let's start with the sense of sight. You can have a past life recall in the form of you watching a past life either from a first person point of view or a third person point of view, and that may or may not be accompanied by all the information, the background information about that life and the feelings that you were feeling in that life. Many past life recalls that involve the sense of sight happen during dreams. Now when we are sleeping, we are in the deepest meditative state possible, and therefore our minds are completely open to the other realm, to the psychic realm, to the healing realm. If you sleep soundly, you are easily able to tap into those states, and it is highly possible to experience your past lives in your dreams. And the second way you can experience a past life by using your sense of sight is if you are having flashes of your past life while awake. Now that is a very rare thing to happen, but it does happen. Again, it depends on how strongly that past life wants to come to you right now, and it also depends on whether you are able to tap into those states while being awake or not. The third way you can tap into your past lives while awake and using your sense of sight is when you're meditating. And the last way you can do that is, of course, with past life regression. If you are experiencing some kind of visual flashbacks or you're having some kind of weird dreams, recurrent dreams, some kind of traumatic experience repeating itself in your dream and that didn't happen in your present life, it is good to go for a past life regression. Now coming to the second physical sense, which is the sense of touch. Now I will expand the sense of touch into the sense of feeling pain or feeling a pressure, hot, cold, etc., etc., tingling sensation, right? So if you're having pain in any part of your body, without ignoring the medical aspects, you should also look into past lives, because it can be the energetic carryover from your past lives into your present life that is causing the pain. Always consider meditating on that illness. Always consider going to a holistic practitioner as well to work on the energetic side. The second way you can experience your past lives in the form of physical sensations is heaviness in the body. So let's say you are feeling as if it feels heavy to breathe. It wasn't like that before, or it has been like that for a very long time. If the medical aspects are taken care of, you go for a past life regression therapy and come to know that yes, this happened in the past, and you release that energy, you release those emotions, and then you're able to feel relieved from that. It's not a given that only a physical ailment or a physical injury will result in a physical problem in the present time. Even an emotional problem in your past lives or in your childhood or in your present life can cause physical heaviness, physical pain, physical illness in your body right now, because emotions are energy in motion, and when that energy in motion is stopped, when those emotions are not expressed, when those emotions are not resolved, when those emotions are continuously brooded upon, they become hardened, they condense into our physical body and result in illnesses over a long period of time. Now, there are many other ways to release this stuck energy as well other than past life regression therapy, but here I'm just talking about PLR for now. Even during a PLR session, when someone says that, I'm feeling tingling in my hands or I'm feeling pain in my stomach, I actually help the client to bridge that feeling, that physical feeling, to a past life in the past, and it's a very good technique to access the related past life. Now moving on to the third sense, hearing. So how can you hear your past lives? Now once again, it is very rare to come across such a thing where you are able to hear your past lives, but you might be able to feel things like ringing in the ears. Once again, it is very rare to actually hear your past life like that without trying. However, if you are meditating or if you are sleeping or if you are getting a PLR session and then you hear your past life, that is a very common thing to happen. You might hear things like the cries of someone or someone shouting at you, or if you were working, let's say, in a mine in a past life, you could hear the constant drilling. And sometimes you could also hear your spirit guides or your own higher self, your own soul talking to you. When I experienced my Lemurian past life, the first thing that happened was that I actually heard my own voice shouting in my ear, Lemuria, Lemuria. I didn't know that word before, and that word was being shouted in my ear in my own voice, so that even if I come out of that session, because I was doing it by myself, even if I come out of it, I take that word and I Google it, and then I come to know that I was in Lemuria. Now moving on to the next two senses, which is sense of smell and taste. Now I have clubbed these two because these two are almost the same when it comes to experiencing a past life. It is very rare to smell or taste something while you are awake in relation to experiencing a past life. If you are in meditation, or once again if you are getting a PLR session done, or in a dream, you can experience a past life by the way of smelling something. And one example can be that you are smelling fumes of some kind, or you might be able to smell gunpowder, or you might be able to smell a certain kind of incense or a fragrance that used to be there in your previous past life home. So these two senses are pretty rare to get involved, but they do get involved sometimes. So we're done with all the 5 physical senses. Now I will add another sense to it as well, which is emotional channeling. Now you can tag it as a physical sense or a psychic sense, it doesn't matter. I think emotions are the bridge between the physical and the psychic. If you are just beginning to explore spirituality or your past lives, one of the very first ways to experience a past life is through your emotions. So yes, if as a child you used to be extremely angry for no reason, or you used to feel like you are poor for no reason, usually those feelings, they go away as one grows up. But if they create a lot of problems, it is good to explore them, and it is actually extremely common. I think every person has that. An example of emotions coming out as past lives is when someone is getting weird feelings towards the other person, extreme negative feelings or extreme positive feelings towards someone, and that might create a lot of problems in the present, right, for you as well as for the other person. I had a client, she had just began her spiritual journey. Instead of feeling high vibe and instead of feeling good, she started feeling very bad. Now that is because she was tapping into those deep states and allowing those emotions to come to the surface. That also includes emotions from your childhood and from past lives. When she came for the first session, her shoulders were slumped like this, and she was very, looking down, and she looked grey, and she didn't dress up very nice, and her tone of voice was very, very low. I was hardly able to hear what she was saying. She went to a number of lifetimes where she was alone, she was without family, poor, she didn't have food, she was ill, she was killed very young many times. So she visited all those number of different past lives in order to release all that traumatic energy. And when she came for the second session, I could literally see it on her face, like she was a completely different person. There was a spring in her step. She was literally lighted up. She was looking as if, yes, there is blood in her body, and she was speaking up. She was very clear about her thoughts. So this is the difference PLR makes on your life, especially when you are having those hard and soft past life recalls actively. Now coming on to your psychic senses. Now apart from 5 physical senses, there are so many psychic senses as well. The way psychic senses convey information to us is also through our physical senses. So you can correlate both of them. So let's say if you see something in your dream or in your meditation, that is your sense of clairvoyance. And if you hear something in any of those states, that is your sense of clairaudience. Now apart from these things, there are mainly 3 types of people. People who experience their past lives in the form of visuals, people who experience their past lives in the form of the sense of sound, which is auditory, and the third sense is kinesthetic. So visual people obviously are very visual otherwise in their life as well. They might like art, they like beauty, they might be artists, photographers, they like watching movies, they understand things better when they look at things, when they look at diagrams, flowcharts, and when they visit a past life, they visit it as a movie scene or a visual or an image or colors or shapes. Second type of people are auditory, I think that is self-explanatory. And the third type of people are kinesthetic. Now kinesthetic involves everything from touch to spatial sense to hot, cold temperatures, tingling sensations, to the sense of touch, texture, and also feeling of heaviness or lightness in a particular body part or in the body as a whole. Kinesthetic people navigate life in a kinesthetic way. Basically, they like body movement, they like going out for walks, hiking, outdoor activities, they like to touch things, they like to get the feel of things. So let's say if they have a car, they like that their car should be running very smoothly, you know, they should feel the car running smoothly. You get the point, right? So these are all the different ways you can experience your past lives. I know it is a lot, right? I know many of you might be just thinking that past life can only come to you like a movie. Many people, when they don't get a visual in a PLR session, they are disappointed. It's my job as a practitioner to explain to them that there are many different ways of experiencing past lives, not just visual. And that also happens that there is a visual person who doesn't get their past lives in a visual manner. So there are so many different variations when it comes to these things, and you always have to get to know yourself better and explore how you sense things. What is your unique combination of abilities? And there are always exceptions to how people perceive things and how you particularly perceive things. If this video helped you get a greater understanding of past lives, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other question, also mention in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. You know it tells YouTube to show this content to other people who like the stuff, and so we are able to spread this knowledge that is very much needed in today's society far and wide. I thank you for watching my video till here. Have a wonderful rest of your day.